Ahead of the anti-Gaddafi campaign, America's CIA was enlisting the colonel's security forces to question terrorism suspects. That deal allowed intelligence agents to circumvent safeguards against torture by transporting supposed insurgents to Libya. Well, the allegations surfaced after human rights groups in Tripoli found documents outlining CIA and MI6 rendition programs. Let's get some thoughts on this now from Don DeBar, an anti-war activist and New York-based journalist. Don, thanks ever so much for being on the programme with us tonight. Are you surprised by the emergence of these documents?
Well, I'm not surprised that they're being presented. You know, go back to even the period after the fall of the Soviet Union, the so-called Verona documents. The U.S. CIA is very skilled at this information, and it's interesting here because the attempt is to play this in front of Arab audiences to show Gaddafi as being the U.S. ally, even though the forces fighting Gaddafi have had a coordinated 6-month bombing attack with NATO and the U.S. on their side. But this is playing to Arab nationalists so that the NTC can be seen as some sort of anti-imperialist front when in fact they are agents of U.S. imperialism.
Well, you know, I guess as you'd expect, the CIA is denying these allegations as they always do. But if they are true, how should they be investigated?
Well, they should be looked at in the context of the rapprochement that was a temporary one, as it turns out, where Libya essentially tried to get itself off the sanctions that had, they suffered for a decade or so, and to be allowed to trade in the international community. The cost was very high. I guess that shows that collaboration with the United States does not guarantee that you'll be able to continue in power, because they turn on you like they did on Saddam Hussein, and if this is true, which I have my doubts about, like they turned on Gaddafi.
Do you think the rendition program, if it indeed existed, achieved any results in fighting Al-Qaeda?
Well, it's interesting because the allegation is that Al-Qaeda is very heavily nested into NTC. So if that was the case, it would be really ironic that this is the outcome.
How likely is the future Libya now, looking to the future, going to be party to such behaviour again? If this did happen, could the US count on it happening again, or will they have to find other hosts, do you think, in the future? What's your take on that?
Well, you have, if this group actually ends up being the government of Libya, they came in at the barrel of the U.S. bombers' guns. So, it's going to be hard for me to imagine that they're going to exercise any independence from the United States. I would imagine that the CIA is very well represented in the NTC already.
All right, Don DeBar, anti-war activist and journalist, thanks for your thoughts on the programme tonight.
Thank you, Kevin.